Hey, you see this knife that my brother got?
I did. I noticed the hilt, but I did not actually open it. Ah, now the show is getting real.
Yeah. I got my knife.
Very dull.
Yeah, I don't know where you got that from. That's a knife. That's a sword.
That's a dagger, actually.
Yeah, it's more of a dagger, I guess.
It's not longer than your elbow. It's a dagger. Yours is a knife.
I'm gonna tape it to my elbow. I'm John.
I'm Preston.
All right, so just to recap, starts with Kuvira's army just rolling up to the front gates, so to speak, of Zaofu. Tanks, mechs, airships. No normal ground troops, just
at least not in the first scene anyway.
Yeah, just mechs.
Apparently rolling their camp village or buildings up in there too.
Yeah. Then it jumps to Kuvira and Batar on the train, talking. Basically just talking about how they want to use Bolin. Bolin's their secret weapon in this.
Yeah.
In this
some
diplomatic solution for taking Zaofu.
To do it the right way, I guess.
Yeah, I don't understand. There's history with Bolin and Opal. Bolin is friends with Korra. Like, I don't know.
I'm not entirely sure what the secret plan was for Bolin, but other than go in there and talk to her, I guess. But
Kuvira seems really smart to me, like in general. So why would she ever think that Bolin had the capability? Like, was he just gonna like go in and like high five everyone and they like yeah, Kuvira is the best? Like, what exactly was he going to do? And why did she not like go over a plan with him or something?
I know anything, some kind of hey, you need to hit these points.
You know, Kuvira just says Sue trusts Bolin. That's like the only really reason.
That's the rationale behind it. Yeah.
Then it jumps to Korra and the kids, fresh from the swamp, and Korra's deep poisoning of herself. I don't know how long. I'm assuming they've probably been flying
at least several hours. It's now daytime again.
Yeah, either they camped out and rested for maybe a day, possibly. Maybe. They didn't really specify how long it's been since the swamp end now. But they are traveling to Zaofu, so obviously Korra's next move would be to see what the crap's going on over there and to, help out any way she can, which is her kind of understanding. Milo is kind of like, what? No fight?
Yeah, no.
We didn't come all this way, so that you just, it's like...
Milo is a shining example of that pacifist airbender tradition. That
Milo is awesome. Yeah, Varric and Julie making a video about what he's doing with his, the experiments. This is not the first experiment. He says it's
3.0 or
3-02.
02, yeah, right.
Yeah. Like, which was the crazy revelation that I guess if you add more electricity, I don't know what exactly was happening because he was using weird measurements like five more Varrics and Julies. I'm assuming the Julies were the weight.
Yeah, Julie is apparently weight.
And the Varrics were the measurement of energy or power that was being...
Joules.
Joules or something. Apparently they couldn't use... He had to make up his own stuff.
Voltage.
I don't know. I don't really understand the whole thing, and I don't think we're supposed to understand. I don't think we'll ever understand. It was a lot of knobs and switches were turned, and
it was a
switch, and some purple light, and suddenly we got a big
death beam.
Vatu death beam. Yeah. Same color, same sound. I mean, same exact everything. It was like that, War of the Worlds,
Mass Effect death beam.
Yeah, that Mass Effect sounding thing. Also, like he had a lot of specimens. He had a lot of spirit guns in that area. There's plenty to work with. Plenty that he has.
Plenty of new weapons to make for him.
Yeah, so our theories were right.
Yeah, it was both an energy source and a weapon. Well, actually, it's just a weapon as far as Kuvira seems to be concerned.
I don't were they going to make it into an energy source from the very beginning,
or were they? They couldn't have been planning on it being a weapon because unless they had failed like that before, but you'd think that wouldn't have been such a surprise to Varric, so they must have been trying to make it into an energy source. I don't know. I don't think we're ever going to know what the battery was actually supposed to be for, because as we find out, it fails and makes a giant Vatu beam.
Yeah, I mean, how are they going to Obviously, they're going to weaponize it in some
facet,
in some way. I mean,
it's the only thing I can think of is a cannon.
It kind of looked like a cannon, like off the end of that ship, or at the end of the train. I could see them mounting it on the train, or something like that,
or in the tanks.
But how much
It looks like it was a one-shot wonder, though. Well, it didn't destroy the vine itself, though, but it did destroy the battery that fired it.
I wonder if they're gonna weaponize it anymore, in smaller form.
Actually cut it down and.
I know we don't have either mount. Maybe they can mount it on the mechs, mount it on the tanks, or even smaller. People,
guns, lasers. Then we actually have stormtroopers.
Which, for the last season, I'm okay with that because it's not bullets. It's a gun, and it doesn't necessarily have to kill someone and
just
with
horribly
blood.
Laser them.
If someone can shoot lava at somebody,
it's nothing
then
worse.
what's the difference between Plus, they did do that.
Yeah.
Vatu shot that beam, or Unavatu shot that beam, and Vatu both shot that beam at Korra several times, and hit.
Yeah.
And hurt them. Didn't kill them, but it hurt them.
Yeah.
So
which actually makes it kind of a crappy overall lethal weapon.
Well, if it does a lot of damage to somebody but doesn't kill them, I guess it could be
crime determined. But that doesn't seem like what she wants. It sounds like she wants lethal force super weapon type thing. Which I don't know. To be honest with you.
Really, she just wants something that's really powerful that's going to scare people.
That's what it seems like.
It's just anything else that can give her the upper hand, which this definitely will. When it finally, it's fun. It's ultimately funny.
Yeah.
But Julie is falling out of the train. Varric saves her. It's really cliched. She falls on top of him. You saved me. I can't believe it. You really do care. She didn't say that, but he's like, of course I saved you. And it looks like it's gonna be this touching moment. And then I gotta have somebody to help me clean this up.
Get a broom.
Get a broom. And she's gonna. I mean, to me, they were setting up all this. Throughout the entire episode, they're setting up these little moments where it's man, how does she put up with him?
Yeah.
He has this change of heart.
Yeah, this sudden conscience.
Julie has to tell him that it's his conscience. Yeah. He has no idea what it is.
Because he has had no moral restrictions the entire series, but I guess Giant Death Beam kind of gives you a new perspective on life. Because he wants to end the project right now. And Kuvira is not okay with that, as it turns out.
This is probably the very first time we have seen her do anything, I would say anything actually evil.
At least
threatening your life.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, except for the train scene where she threatened to kill all those guys with the train, but
clearly she was bluffing, and
I'm not sure she was bluffing.
She took this a lot further.
Yeah, this was a lot more.
Well, see, so far Kuvira's thing has been tough rhetoric.
Yeah.
But now it's
tough rhetoric with the force choke.
With the actual, with force choke. I mean, I gotta put those metal collars on there for some reason.
Wait, I don't know why he wears those.
I would stop wearing all the metal. We've said this several times. Stop wearing metal. Why are they still wearing the metal? Stop it. So, yeah, she basically threatens him, and then he's like, no, I'll stay. And then it kind of ends there.
The Sato reunion.
Yes. So this is the complete opposite of what's happening on the other end of the spectrum, but nonetheless, it's a very necessary. I was very pleased with it.
It's one of the best scenes, at least, actually, It
was a couple scenes, actually. I think it was 2, maybe 3 scenes. 3 scenes where they deal with this whole reunion. Basically, Asami is telling her father, who I don't know, I doubt she has visited him.
No, I would say not, since she hasn't even opened the letter she sent her.
Yeah, and it's like returning these letters and telling him just to not even write anymore, just don't even bother. And basically just throwing it all in his face, and he just kind of like says he regrets everything, and he says you were the
best thing I ever created.
The best thing I ever created, which then she sheds a tear and walks off. Kind of cuts there.
Yeah. It's a short scene, but it's it's a good scene. It really is, because you kind of feel for Hiroshi a little bit better.
I have to say, I didn't recognize him when he first sat down.
No, didn't know who. I guess I knew. I kind of had to figure it was him, but it doesn't look like him.
it adds to like kind of he's like just a shell. He's just a shell
of what he was.
And I think this is that. I really think if anybody had any hope for any Equalist returning, any Equalist movement returning, I did too a little bit. It's kind of a stretch though. They don't have very many episodes.
Yeah.
Left. This is the last season, unless they spring a fifth season on us. But I really, really highly doubt that.
Yeah, I'm sure that's not gonna happen.
Yeah, but even in comics, like I was kind of like thinking they could still do something with the Equalists in comics.
Well, not with Hiroshi though.
But not with Hiroshi, no.
Unless he's just lying, straight out lying to her right now, which doesn't seem like it. It seems
I don't
like
think
a
so.
genuine scene.
They're just wanting to wrap up that whole thing and do it in the best way possible. I wonder though if he's going to be out of the picture for good, and they just wanted to wrap that up with her father, or if he's going to come back in some way and maybe be good.
I doubt he's coming back. But I think it's just them wrapping it up.
Yeah, probably. So now we finally get the scene where Kuvira and Sue, sit down for that diplomatic solution to the problem.
Well, first we have the train whenever they tell Bolin that they need him to.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, it's right before that.
He's in the inner circle now.
He's in the inner circle.
He's in the know.
Bolin gets asked to go on a very important mission to be a peacekeeper for Kuvira's forces with what did she say, the unification of the country or something. I forget. It wasn't straight up conquest, but basically she wants you to help her take over Zaofu without shooting anybody.
It's whatever it is. It's BS.
It's BS. It's
pretty much anything that Kuvira says now is just BS.
Yeah, sadly, yes.
Because she has already proven that she will go to any lengths and take any type of method to get what she wants.
Yeah, and she chose Bolin.
Yeah.
Bolin was her secret weapon for some reason.
Well, like she said, Sue trusts Bolin.
Does that mean that Bolin's gonna do anything?
You know who doesn't trust Bolin? Opal.
Yeah.
And Opal was in that room.
I guess we can just go right into it, because that's pretty much the only thing that happened there.
Yeah.
Unless you want to count that Bolin sees the army. So it's like, again, another questioning moment for him. Isn't this going to send the wrong idea? But Bolin still doesn't get it yet. Ever.
Bolin, Bolin, I don't think he'll ever... I mean, like, sometimes he does some smart things.
He has his moments of, like, I don't know, true heroism. If nothing else, he's the hero of certain scenes, but this is...
Like, he's
like, always naive. He's always a sucker.
So naive, yeah. Yeah, I brought this up earlier. I was like, it's like Opal and Bolin were so great together in book 3 because they were so much alike. But then you see, like, how much Opal has changed.
Yeah, she's kind of grown up, and
then like he kind of hasn't. Like, even though they said like, oh, you grew up a little bit, but he still doesn't understand the situation. He doesn't want to understand.
He's not good, considering he's fought so many bad guys at spotting a bad guy.
I don't even know what his function is.
In that scene, he has no part in that scene other than a comic relief. It makes no sense as to why they brought him. I don't get it. other than to create tension between him and Opal and
Exposition.
He did have some slight exposition moments.
Get some information out. The prison camps. All that
the
stuff.
possible painful memories. Because honestly, I have no idea what the hate is between each other at this point.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, okay, Batar Jr., his conflict seems to be more
oriented towards his father rather than
his mother.
I guess that's because, Batar Sr. has to do something other than call the United Forces.
Yeah.
For help, which
they should have set this up a little bit more, I think, in book 3.
Which, by the way, I don't know when we're going to talk about this, but Sue should have already had the United Forces there.
I feel like we talked about this. We talked about this so much
in several different videos.
Already, but it's like Suyin.
Why?
I'll just say it now. Suyin had it coming. She
brought this on herself. She really did.
Nothing. She did nothing at all. And even in her backstory, which I guess that's later.
That's later, yeah.
So we won't talk about it now, but she might be saying, okay, she might be right, like, okay, you can't just come in here and take over. Yeah, she's right about that. But she could have done something about it, and she didn't.
Yeah. Another, probably the most useful bit of information we get from this is the supposed, of course it hasn't been verified yet, although from all the actions later on, pretty much guarantee it, but we have apparently slave camp, or all the providences have become slave camps effectively, and any dissenters go somewhere. Re-education camps.
Those are just, those are just there so you can, we can teach people, trade skills.
Yeah, trade skills.
Probably more like forcing people to work in mines to mine metals and different things.
At least they have a job.
So Korra gets this kind of first view of the problem.
Yeah.
Before she actually gets to talk to anybody.
As they're flying in on the Bison, you see Kuvira's army, and I was wrong in my statement earlier. She actually has an army. That is an army.
How much did you estimate?
Several thousand.
You were saying 4,000.
4,000 mechs, it looked like. Of course, that's before I thought that the back row might have been tanks.
I think the back row are tanks. I
think
in which case those are all tanks.
2,000 tanks and 4,000 infantry mechs. I don't know. It's a ridiculous number of troops.
Ridiculous.
I'm going by little tiny dots, but
I wonder if all those tanks are platinum.
I doubt it. I don't think so.
That would be ridiculous amount of platinum.
I'm thinking these are that would be the only thing is you get metal bend up mechs more than likely, but
yeah. If we can get some metal benders,
like the entire population of Zaofu or
something.
Zaofu,
they would have been able to do something about it, but Sue was like, Oh yeah. Really not much of the scene. Like, it's very rushed. She walks in, it's like, oh, Korra, where have you, or oh my gosh, where have you been? She's like, oh, I'll explain later. How can I help?
That's it.
And that's pretty much it. That's it. Then it jumps back to Kuvira, Batar, and Bolin on the train, and Bolin's
in the tent.
Or in the tent, sorry. And Bolin is having some second thoughts about being.
Like, you're not really going to crush them in 2 days, are you?
I mean, I'm so mad at Sue that I don't care as much because I know that Bolin was going to be like, well, obviously he does, figure it out. You got to face the hard truths, and everything, and
Kuvira.
I don't know what is Kuvira's obsession with Bolin? Like,
I don't get it either.
The thing I think of is he's a lava bender.
Yeah, that's the only thing I can think of it too.
Like, why?
He's unique.
He's a main character. That's why he's getting so much attention.
Well, you could count it like that, but I'd like to think there's something a little more to that. But yeah, and this scene is weird because like Kuvira doesn't she's just done hiding it. Even she just comes out and basically says, "Yeah, I'm evil. I'm going to kill everyone." Like she might as well just put on the mask in the Hitler stash at that point. What the heck? Like that entire scene was very weird. Just like she all but admits to having slaves and
Yeah, these are my loyal subjects.
and they will serve me however I please.
It's like
I didn't realize Sosin was alive again. Nice to know.
I mean, Su Yin is right about
what?
Kuvira.
Yeah. I mean,
but that makes it all the more
worse about what Sue did.
I guess we can jump right into that next scene.
Yeah, it's actually the next scene anyway.
They talk about her backstory and everything.
Yeah.
Or Korra asks, "What happened? How did it get so bad?" Basically, she asks questions that we're all asking.
Yeah.
What the heck happened? And it kind of all boils down to a moment where basically Tenzin and Raikou were like, "We need to fix this issue.
Yeah.
Korra can't do it. She's not around. We need somebody else. You're a Beifong. You have the ability to do it.
You're the leader of Zaofu already. I mean, and they're right. She's the perfect candidate for it. And in addition, she doesn't want to do it. That's like, trifecta of perfect person for the job.
Yeah. I mean, she already has all the ingredients of being the best leader, and for some bizarre reason that I have no idea, except what she was given, which was, we'll look like conquerors, we'll look like the bad guys.
Which, by the way, like we saw at the end, whenever she died, there's like looting, raiding going on throughout the entire city. You can't get a lot more bad guy than leaving that to happen.
I know, the thing was already unstable. I mean, it went to crap like real fast.
I mean, yeah, you can't really fault Kuvira there whenever she's like, I think you should do this. This is like the right thing to do.
This just dawned on me. The only thing that I can think of is that because she's really against like world leaders. She's not against world leaders, but she's against like
imperial takeovers.
Yeah,
and stuff.
Those type of things. She said that she was not fond of the Earth Queen. She was not fond of that position. That might be what they're trying to tie in, but she didn't even mention those things. She just just said we'll look like the bad guys more or less, and she didn't want to do that. And Kuvira was like, we need to do this. We gotta step up. We gotta do something. Which she was totally right.
Yeah, she was 100% right about that.
And then Sue's like, no, we're not doing it. She kind of got a little bit angry. She's like, no, we're not doing that. Like, that's final or whatever. And then we see...
Yeah, Kuvira kind of get that trademark scowl looking on her face.
Scowl with the kind of the blank eyes or whatever. I'm not really sure what that's all about. But she says they created a rift, even though she didn't know it at the time. It created a rift between... And then everything kind of went downhill from there. Kuvira just started kind of acting on her own.
She apparently
turned everyone against Sue. And
which I like how she's so convinced that Batar's not part of this that she turned him against me and stuff. I think Batar was just pretty much against you.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like Batar doesn't agree with that.
Kuvira might have did a lot of convincing and things like that and helped him along.
Mm-hmm.
But it was ultimately his decision.
Yeah. Oh, what I did find was pretty cool is that Kuvira had got most of apparently the actual Zaofu's actual city guards to join her,
which makes sense because she was the captain of the guard.
Yeah.
So obviously they were under her rule already.
Which means that at least, they've had 3 years to get new guards, but apparently these were the best of the best that joined Kuvira. So Zaofu's even in worse condition than we thought for actually defending itself.
I guess that's definitely part of it, but. She would have had to have replaced.
Well, yeah, but
the guards.
They're just not as good now. Probably, I don't know.
That's a dumb reason, though.
Yeah,
because she still could have had other things in preparation, like United Forces.
United Forces could have told everybody. You could have just stopped her yourself. You could have stopped her when she was in Zaofu. You could have stopped her when she was in Republic City. You could.
It's Sue's fault.
It literally is Sue's fault
because she saw the freaking threat very early on
and did nothing.
Did nothing at all. Tie more of that into possibly her demise, or at least paying for it dearly, to the point where she loses her city and either has to join.
Kuvira.
Remember the guy? Remember the governor?
Yeah.
Regain your loyalty or regain your position by devoting loyalty to me, and he's like, grudgingly, but he does
actually say
great united. But will Sue bow down to Kuvira?
Yeah, I don't think so.
Probably not, but I
Not
don't
unless it's actually like the same thing. Basically, your whole city will die if you don't.
think.
So not really a choice. That's pretty much the only way that's going to happen. I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Oh, Korra asks her, I don't know what I can do to help or something like that, or basically what Sue asks or tells her that she can do to help.
Yeah, Sue's kind of plan is to use Korra as like a super weapon, which many people have done this with the Avatar, and it's all proven to not be good.
Yeah.
Do not use the Avatar state as a weapon. It's not just something to come in and just kill everybody or wipe people out. I mean, yeah, avatars have wiped people out in the past, but I said this, and I don't know if it has anything to do with it, but it almost seems now it's like almost like a vendetta.
It does, yeah. That's why I mean the painful memory thing might actually be a legitimate thing, because it does not seem like you just took my son and I'm going to kill you. I mean, it looks literally like very personal at this point. It's a little odd. It's like or maybe she really knows her better than we even realize, and she's literally a threat to the entire planet or something. I don't know. So we're
it seems to
all
me
of
that
the enemies from the second or the last season, and they weren't killed.
It seems to me that Sue was very surprised at the actions of Kuvira.
It does seem like it, yeah.
So up until that point, Kuvira just pretty much did whatever Sue told her to do, and then she was like, "I'm done," because this was the final straw and did her own thing, and now it went way in the opposite direction. So, but yeah, it does seem like go into the Avatar state, wipe her out, destroy her. It's like
wipe out her army.
Yeah. Wait, you're gonna kill all these people? Because you didn't do anything?
Plus, I'm not sure she could. That's a lot of mechs.
I think she could probably do something.
The Avatar pulls out, yeah, but we've seen the Avatar state go down.
I think the Avatar state's more powerful now. That's just my theory, because if we look at, I'm gonna talk a lot about this if we want to talk about this, but my theory is that the Avatar state's more powerful now than it was before, because Rava was bigger when she kind of re-entered Korra. She, I think, is more powerful. The Avatar state, when she was fighting Zahir, seemed more powerful.
Sort of. I have still never seen anything even remotely close to Kyoshi. Not a single thing even remotely close to Kyoshi.
Well, either way, I think that it is more powerful, though. And also, I think now that she's balanced, or at least I feel like she's balanced. Korra is.
Maybe.
At least she's gotten rid of all this negativity out of her life.
Except for the fact that Kuvira kind of uses it against her in a couple scenes.
As far as like
actually, dwelling on it.
Stuff. I mean, she is right. Like,
this is partly Korra's fault too.
Partially because that's her job to keep peace and stuff. But it's necessary steps, necessary things have to happen for Korra to become complete Avatar. But she doesn't want to fight.
Nope. She'd rather find another solution.
She says the old me would have done that, maybe. But okay, so Sue doesn't really argue against her decision. So
well, at least we don't see it anyway.
I'm assuming nothing else happens, or they wouldn't cut the scene there. So nothing else really happens in that conversation.
Other than Sue apparently decides to take matters into her own hands.
Yeah, that's pretty much what comes out of that scene, I think.
Yeah.
Then we jump to
Asami on the bench.
This is the second scene with Asami. She just kind of sees like a father and his young daughter
who look a lot like
them, yeah. But it's sad because even though we never got to really see it, I'm sure that Asami's dad,
and they kind of implied it in the first season that he was a loving father to her. He really was. It's just his ideology was horrible. Well, that's arguable. It was wrong in the greater scheme of things.
Yeah,
I'm not so sure he was wrong in the idea, but certainly wrong in the execution.
Yeah, and it definitely poisoned him and took it way too far, even to the point where he was willing to attack his own daughter.
Yeah.
At the end of book 1, so those things are very serious. But at some point, he was a good person.
Yeah, at least a good father, anyway.
Yeah. So I think that probably that seeing those two probably brought her back to those moments. I actually would have liked to have seen a little flashback or something, but I liked this too.
Yeah.
This was like it was better this way, I think.
Yeah, and to some extent, yeah.
And really
That's it for the entire thing.
Pretty much there. That little part. Then we get Varric.
Oh, and Bolin.
Bolin.
Back on the train. I think. Is that the train?
Well,
yeah, the train.
They're on the train. They're like locked. Or actually, it's Varric and Julie, and they're locked in this compartment. And Varric's being ridiculous. And
Me, Varric.
Can't breathe and stuff. And then suddenly they hear Bolin. He's like, "What? Where's that come from?" And then Julie points up, and he's freaking. And then Bolin's looking through a hatch. He's like, "Where'd that hatch come from?" I dubbed it the plot convenience hatch because it's like not ever explained why it's there. It's even brought into the.
It's even made a joke of in the entire scene itself. He's like, forget the hatch. Let's
let's go. We can't explain that one. Let's just go. I mean, it's quite silly though. If you're
it really is, but it's
the only thing I can think of is that nobody really knew it was there or didn't think about it,
or it was locked from the outside,
and it was locked. Yeah, and so it was like either no one had. I guess you can rationalize it. It's the only way I can rationalize it.
Because apparently Julie knew it was there. She pointed up to it.
Well, Julie knows everything apparently.
Yeah.
Julie is on top of everything all the time at all times. They both. I gotta tell you something.
Yeah.
Kuvira is crazy. I ultimately laughed at it, but I was also like, kind of face palming a little bit because it's like, what the heck, you guys? I mean, it took you this long.
I can excuse Bolin because Bolin actually they obviously sheltered Bolin into thinking that this was the great the good side. But Varric, I don't know how he didn't know she wasn't crazy from the beginning.
We've all come to the conclusion that Bolin's an idiot.
Yeah, I think we mentioned that already.
Yeah,
at least twice probably.
But Varric, just his sudden morality shift, I think, kind of caused him to have his eyes opened a little bit more.
Plus, she tried to force choke him out she bent the thing around his throat like a chokehold and threw him out the window.
Force choke.
Force choke him out.
It's still a force choke. Either way.
Which, by the way, in that scene, he's still wearing those same metal.
Yeah, take the metal off. If they have more metal on them in the next episode, I'm like, okay, maybe they didn't have time to change. Still, though, I would be taking the metal off of.
Oh, I know. I'm cutting it off.
Any metal. I don't care. Yeah. I don't. So Korra finally walks out there and talks to Kuvira, just face to face.
Oh, we didn't even. They also escape from said train.
Oh, that was kind of implied with that.
Yeah, it kind of did.
Yeah, they do escape from the train.
You should already know that, but
yeah. Korra is talking to Kuvira, and this is
interesting.
I don't know what I was expecting.
I don't know.
If anything, I was like, I think my intrigue got the better of me. I was just kind of like, oh, ooh, good. Let's see what happens, But it's like, it plays out probably exactly like you think it would, because either she's gonna like say something really crazy, and then Korra's gonna be like, whoa, wait, I do need to stop this crazy chick, or
exactly what does happen, and she basically cons her way out of it. To be honest, she really does. She's charming and cunning, that's for sure. She's definitely leader material.
Kuvira is the reincarnation of Azula.
Yeah,
more or less. She is. I mean, she has a lot of her same tactics, a lot of the same cunning, but she has charm too.
Yeah, she's a lot more charming.
She has a much smoother voice, which definitely plays in her favor, and also Korra's lack of knowledge of Kuvira and really lack of experience with Kuvira.
Yeah, she's been out of the game for too long to...
Out of the game, and the last time she saw her, Kuvira was a good guy, for all intents and purposes.
Well, she even says she saved my father, so, she holds her in some kind of regard at the moment.
Yeah.
That might change, but
probably very quickly. I'd say by next episode.
Next episode.
So Kuvira basically convinces Korra to,
hey, why don't you go talk to Sue again?
Get her to change her mind.
It's really just Korra ping-ponging back between this for the entire...
Yeah, more or less. And then we get to...
The only fights... No.
Ah, yes. Bolin, Julie, and Varric are all have gotten out, have gotten mechs.
Yep.
Somehow, gotten in them, and are walking away from the battle. And then Bolin's like, wait a minute, what are we doing?
Yeah, he just now realizes that they're doing it, but again, we've already made the point that should tie into this already.
I wish the scene was extended. I wanted to see like how they got the mechs and what happened, what conversation happened. But then I kind of feel like maybe no conversation had to be happen for Bolin to still be confused and to wait till now to
mention the fact that
something.
Hey, we're kind of walking away from the city that we're supposed to be protecting, or whatever he thinks he's going to do there. Warn Zalfu like Zalfu doesn't know. He did say he wanted to warn Zalfu, didn't he? Oh,
No.
of the super weapon. Of the super weapon. Right, he wanted to warn them of the super weapon. That's a fair one.
Varric said he wanted to leave to
Republic City.
To get Republic City to warn them about super weapon.
Yeah, I think he said, I'm going to assume that Bolin was going to warn Zalfu about the super weapon too.
Maybe, or just get in there and help. Maybe.
Yeah. Throw rocks, lava.
Lava.
Yeah,
lava.
Yeah,
rocks and lava. And also, we do have that little tiny scene of Batar.
Oh yeah, I didn't even write it down.
I guess that leads.
Didn't really know what to do with it.
Where was that scene?
It was at the train when he walks back to the train and he's like, basically tells them he found out that they escaped.
Yeah.
It really isn't a lot to that scene, but
I'll just say, Batar goes back to the train, sees that they're gone. A couple more idiot guards.
Yeah.
Which,
by the way, he doesn't grab any more than those two idiot guards, which is a little weird. But
yeah, very odd.
Especially since Varric is the weapon maker of the thing, but he chances it with just him and his two guards.
It is possible that he might have been
in a hurry,
or he might have wanted them back so that Kuvira did not find out.
Yeah, or prove him. I don't know. I don't know what his rationale was, but
they're talking about how if they should stay and help or to leave, and that would be a better help. And then suddenly Batar and the two henchmen in mech suits, which are all accordingly color coded and we make sure that actually, like I said, I think there are ranks, that makes sense. Well, a really amazing fight scene actually,
really well drawn and everything.
I feel like we just haven't had like a fight.
Yeah, like
at all,
that,
really.
Yeah.
Not since like the first episode of the season. And we got that little fight with, Toph in the swamp with Korra.
If you call that a fight.
Not really a fight. It's more like Toph slapping her around.
That's not a fight. That's just a slaughter.
Yeah. It's a mud slap. And then, but not really. I'm trying to think if there was any, like, Coronation didn't really have anything. There's a lot of chase scenes and stuff in that, but
Mako didn't even fight. He put up a flame wall.
There's no fighting. There has been like really no fighting this season. So I mean, now that we're like right in the on the cusp of like probably a battle, possibly a battle.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll see some fighting and stuff going on. But if anything, in any case, we get this little fight here, which shows off the mechs. Suits, the abilities, and things.
That's certainly the how much more advanced they are.
Way more advanced
than the slow lumbering ones that were in the first season.
Hiroshi's, Future Industries is good, but Varric is better.
Apparently, Varric is a lot better because those things they don't lose any mobility at all. Like
no,
these things are throwing high kicks and everything.
Oh yeah, very, very, very good. And of course, Julie showcases how good these things actually are.
I mean, apparently she has piloted this before. I don't know. She knew how to do everything in that, except for shoot lightning. She never did that one, but
no. But
Everything short of shooting lightning,
Julie is just a very capable young woman.
apparently.
Apparently she can do anything.
Yeah.
She can do the thing.
The thing.
Whatever the thing is, she can do it. She can do everything.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Just has to be titled Thing.
The thing.
But yeah, basically these three guys attack. Well, Batar and the two henchmen come in and just guns blazing, basically. And yeah, you get to show off the next powers, and you get to see Bolin fighting. Actually fighting for a while, once in a while.
I think the first time we've seen him do lava bending in this season.
Yeah, it was a pretty epic lava bend too. That was nice.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really remember a lot of his lava bending he did in 3. It was very little, and he did a little bit of like some countering type stuff, but other than that, it wasn't real crazy.
No.
This was like more like what Gazan would do,
Yeah.
where it was just a straight up,
Just turned everything into lava.
lava wave, more or less. And doesn't kill the two guys, but does destroy the mech suits.
And would have killed them in any kind of real life situation.
Would have, unless Nickelodeon intervened.
Yeah.
But they would have died if Nickelodeon did not intervene.
However, completely ineffectual since Batar grabs Varric by the head.
Yeah. I would have been like, yeah,
Yeah.
just let him. Just let him. Just
Gotta do it. He can't do it. He's the guy who's building your super weapon. It's
Exactly.
a vain threat. There's literally no threat in that.
Actually, yeah. What the heck?
I mean, granted, you don't really. The good guys can never call that bluff ever. But that is a horrible bluff.
Varric should have said something.
Like if he had Julie by the head, then you can buy it because she's, he can kill her and get away with it.
Mhm.
Except for the Y7 up in the corner. But they get recaptured.
They do
because
get recaptured.
They refuse to attack
Yeah.
or call Batar's bluff on that.
Yeah. Yeah. Whatever. Then we get the conclusion, I guess, to these 3 parts to this B story with Asami and Hiroshi, and she comes back, and I don't remember what she actually says, but all I know is that she said she wanted to get back to like how it was, and
Sort
At
of.
least
Well,
that
she said that she wanted to hurt him that first time. She
Yeah.
wanted to make him suffer. But basically, she's really just sad about the loss of their relationship, basically, is really what it boils down to. She's not really so much angry as she is just they can't have it the way that it was.
Yeah.
Not really.
this makes me just feel like I wish we could get the full seasons, the 20 episodes.
For this scene right here, yeah.
Because it's like
Particular.
Asami to me was such a great character because they took her from a place where it was like she was going to be a villain,
Yeah.
and probably just like almost like a throwaway character, to being a good guy but still kind of a throwaway character.
Yeah, she's the other female.
Yeah, it's
That's
not-
it. That's all she is. She's the other female of Team Avatar. And actually now you have, you can count all the kids, but really Team Avatar doesn't really do anything together ever.
I mean, I guess, which is actually more realistic.
Yeah.
But I guess you could explain like, okay, she is running a company.
Yeah, I mean, she has other things to do.
She's
but
doing other things. Most times she's probably sitting behind a desk. So, I guess it kind of makes sense. But still, you wish there was more to her character. Yeah, we got to see more with her character. I guess I can't complain too much because her character was in book 3 quite a bit. And she pretty much tagged along with Korra for really the first time ever. And did pretty much almost everything with Korra. So, the next scene, Kuvira basically is threatening to put them all in a prison camp.
Yeah.
Except for Varric, of course, because he has to
weaponize the
weaponize the
Death Beam.
that thing. I don't
The
know.
star. She has to build
The Death Star.
the Death Star.
Yeah, she has to have that beam to destroy anything. She needs the Death Star, and she needs Varric to build it. So,
Bolin and Jolie are going to go to re-education camp.
yeah.
Sounds nicer that way.
Yeah. It does. It sounds very nice. Oh, I'd be educated. Oh, some trade skills.
Yep.
But Julie gets down on hands and knees and
Begs her for a chance or another chance.
another chance. She said she was a fool,
for
trusting Varric. He's not as
smart and
cunning and all this other good stuff, and
as beautiful and
majestic. No, and
it works.
It works. Kuvira is just soaking it up.
Yeah,
you two can learn something from her.
Yeah.
Kuvira,
we've seen her first fatal flaw. Apparently, ego.
Yep, her ego.
Achilles' heel on that woman.
And I guess lets her go to the point of Julie like turning around and ordering the guards
to take
him out, to do the thing.
Do the thing with Varric.
Not the thing. No. Because I don't know what the thing is.
Yeah.
To me, the thing was just anything. Apparently, Julie knew what to do and do the thing.
And the guards knew both to listen to her and to actually
to do
what
the
she
thing.
was talking about. Yeah.
It was more of just a humorous thing.
It was a humorous thing to kind of point out the
yeah.
The obvious role reversal in that particular scene. But
ultimately, you know, I mean, like I was saying, like I'm really glad that they're giving Julie a character and a part to play and layering her character a little bit more. But it's so obvious that this is all just a ploy. This is all just it's her plan. She's still obviously devoted to Varric, and this is just part of the plan to stay there with Varric and
have a chance of setting them free.
Yeah.
At least that's our assumption. We don't technically know that.
It's not our assumption. It's pretty much everyone's assumption. Everybody's saying the exact same thing. Now they might. There's a very small chance that everything she said was true, and
she's genuinely just ticked off. Which I couldn't blame her, to be honest, if she was, but I don't buy it.
When in the trailer, people were showing that shot of her like looking kind of fierce, and then like that thing came down, which we already saw that in this episode. For the next suit, people were like, "Oh, maybe she like turns against Varric and everything, and she turns evil." And people were even going as far as saying like, "Oh, Julie's the main bad guy in book 4." And I can kind of see where they could possibly drag that out a little bit more and be like, okay, she might play the part, so to speak. Julie is a very capable person. Obviously, so I could see her as being like the new person that's going to be at Kuvira's side.
Yeah.
At all times, kind of like how Bolin was, which would give her would put her in a really good position if she was planning on turning against her.
Yeah. Especially if she's that good at stroking ego. Because Kuvira liked that. That was an easy win right there. That's the easiest anyone's ever beaten Kuvira.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Julie, she's got some tricks up her sleeves. And then they take Varric away, and I'm assuming they're going to take Bolin away at some point.
Yeah, Bolin was just standing there the entire scene.
It's either going to be imprisoned with them or until they leave, or it's
Korra. It's the last scene.
Yeah. What is she like? For some reason, I imagine her running. Why is she running?
Because she's trying to get to Sue to talk another peace treaty, or peace treaty.
Still don't know why she's running.
I don't get it.
Maybe she just wanted to go for a jog on the way.
Yeah.
So she runs over there.
Runs up to Batar, Senior.
Yeah. Oh, they already left. They're gonna take out
her and her 2 sons are gonna take out the entire army,
or at least take out Kuvira.
Yeah. Well, I guess we can go into that.
And that pretty much ends That's the end of the episode.
That's the end of that episode. Yeah.
So the next episode is called
The Battle of Zaofu.
Battle of Zaofu. Kind of a given.
Yeah, it's really easy title actually. I kind of thought it would be a little bit different, but
actually, I was saying that I was calling it the Battle of Zaofu and everything before or right as I was watching this episode, and they had the clip.
Yeah.
Basically showing kind of where we left off with this episode.
Yeah. Which is Sue's actual attack against the camp.
Well, we don't see the actual attack.
Well, yeah.
She's
infiltrating in, ninjing her way into there.
Pretty cool, actually.
It is pretty cool. Yeah.
She's very she's very capable, stealthy. Her two sons getting in there, sneaking around the spotlights and everything, and
We do hear a somewhat useful bit of information that apparently a good portion of Kuvira's soldiers are forced into service.
I would love to know how she knows that.
I would love to know how she knows that, and
She's like
also why
a-
is Kuvira giving so many mechs to forced labor or forced military?
Maybe they get like really good benefits.
But it's still forced. I mean, what? I guess maybe they get in there and they're like, yeah, you know what? The benefits aren't so bad.
It seems like
Free dental.
that's everybody's thing. That's everybody's thing. Everybody gets benefits. We're gonna make it so your life is way better.
Yeah.
All you gotta do is sign your loyalty over to us. I think a lot of people take that deal. I'm starting to think about Sue's, like, how we're talking about her personal vendetta.
Yeah.
I wonder if a lot of what she's saying is not true. Like, oh, she forced these people to do this. She did this and that, and it's not really true. And it's like, I mean, like in animation, I always take whatever a character says as true.
At least until proven different.
Until proven different. But in this instance, it seems like a weird piece of exposition.
And in a weird spot too.
Yeah.
But the best, I guess, from what we've seen of the of that scene, is that they plan on basically taking out Kuvira, and that's going to stop the army.
Because of it being forced. They're going to have nothing to fight for, therefore they're just going to give up and go home, apparently.
Yeah.
Like the Wicked Witch. When the Wicked Witch died,
yeah.
We're free! Yay!
Yeah.
It's like Kuvira catching
actually,
a
to be
spell
honest,
on them.
it's a pretty common theme in any kind of actual anything, movie or anything. You take out the leader, and everyone stops running to kill everyone for some reason.
Is Kuvira that scary?
Can
Can she take out the entire army?
by herself?
Apparently she can.
Yeah, in which case,
Apparently she can.
then she is a great challenge for the Avatar, if that's actually true.
Okay, so no, half of her forces are forced, and half aren't. So half are devoted to her. So if half were to turn, it would be Kuvira plus half the army, apparently.
Yeah.
I guess that's the understanding behind it all.
I guess.
Because we know for a fact that half.
It's exactly half. It's down to the man, 50%.
So she uses seismic sense and kind of lays out the area,
which it doesn't say anything about, but I don't think Kuvira didn't notice that.
She seemed like she was sleeping quite peacefully.
Quite nice, but I don't think that wasn't going. That one went unnoticed.
Either they're gonna burrow under there, and they're gonna come up, and she's gonna be ready for them. Like it's just a trap.
Yeah.
Because she noticed, or she's just prepared for something like this at all times because she's smart. I can think of a lot of different ways to take her out though than this.
I'm gonna bring up a few. You could have captured her in Republic City. You could have captured her when she walked into Zhao Fu. That's an easy 2 right there.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't. It's like don't do anything, but go in and kill her in the dead of night.
Yeah, and that'll solve all your problems. You know what?
It's weird though because Sue does not seem like a coward to me.
No, she also doesn't seem like an idiot. At least before this season, she didn't.
Plot convenience changes all.
I think we can roughly sum this entire episode as Bolin is an idiot and Sue is an idiot.
Bolin and Sue need to just high five because they're both idiots, but they'll miss because they just don't get it.
Yeah.
Do you think? Well, I think 100% Kuvira is going to take over Zhao.
Oh yeah, that's going to happen.
Will there be a big battle, or will it just kind of like?
I don't know. I'm kind of half and half with it now. I kind of thought it was gonna. At first, I thought it was gonna fall without a fight, but with that, one of two things is gonna happen. If she gets captured, if Sue gets captured, I think it'll go without a fight.
Mm-hmm.
If she somehow gets out of there, it could go to an actual fight. But I still think it's gonna go without a fight. I think she's gonna be captured as trying to assassinate Kuvira, and then the people are going to turn against her. that are just the whole fact that you have 4,000 tanks and stuff like that pointed at you might.
I'm going off the trailer a little bit. We saw Korra in her Earth Kingdom clothing.
Fighting, yeah.
Didn't actually show her fighting.
Well, yeah, she had
they made it look like she
up,
was.
yeah.
They made it look like she was fighting her, but it didn't actually show her fighting her. It's very possible that she might be just fighting her one-on-one as kind of like a, like you were saying, like
two champions type thing.
Like two champions.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that would even work.
No, I don't think so. I don't think Kuvira would let herself lose if that was like she probably would lose the fight, but I don't think that would stop her from calling her army to.
Like, who fights the Avatar, and wins? Like.
Yeah, I don't know.
And thinks, I mean, you have to be really, really smart, like Zahir, and knock her out first and everything, chain her up and all that. But even then,
take away her bending.
Yeah, or take away her bending, or do something like that.
Or be an Avatar yourself.
Yeah, that would also work. Still not as powerful though, because unless you had like all the bending. If two Avatars could fight with all four elements, that would be a very interesting fight. Will Julie's thing come up in this episode? Will it pay off in this episode?
I doubt it. I think Varric at least is going to be captured for a little while longer because we need that weapon to become, at least somewhat more standard.
Yeah, it needs to be stabilized and functioning.
Yeah, you can't have it blowing up with battery every time it fires. That's not.
Wouldn't be very good.
It's not cost effective.
The shot itself was very, there's no aiming system. There's nothing. If it's going to be used.
Plenty of power.
Plenty of power, yeah. Overall theories just from this episode that might tie into later episodes, season finale.
Julie is not against Varric.
That's the only one I can think of.
Yeah. Obviously, Zafu is going to fall. That's pretty much a given.
How will Kuvira take it further? Do you think after Zafu it'll be Republic City, or will it be other places first?
I'm thinking Republic City, since it was, it was Earth Kingdom territory at one time.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah, I'm pretty sure it'll be Republic City will be next.
Unless after Zafu it's like, pretty much, now we're going to do something about it.
Well,
I mean, Korra's back and all this crap, and it's like, now we can go to war against Kuvira. So that's not really going to matter.
Yeah.
If she's taking over other things, it's just now we're just going to go to war with her. Now we're going to go to war with her.
Wait around there.
After her army.
Yeah. I mean, literally, this is... Kuvira is literally a mix between Vader and Hitler. Mm-hmm. Literally, like, everyone appeased her while she's taking over everything. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And she has stormtroopers in the Death Star.
Yes.
Again, force joke.
Yeah. It's
Vader.
It's too good. If I was going off the trailer, just to try to kind of figure out what we know now versus what we saw in the trailer.
That's actually why I think it's going to be in Republic City, because we see her back in Republic City.
Yeah.
That's why I think the fight will be brought to Republic City next, or at all. I guess it could happen later, but I think that's where she's taking it ahead.
Yeah.
Although I do think that we're probably going to see some of those, slave camps and stuff like that coming up. Actually cement that this person is evil.
I'm
kind of hoping not. I kind of hope there's something in the Kuvira that's, not exactly what it seems like.
Yeah. But I doubt it.
I kind of doubt it at this point. I was holding out hope up until, this episode.
Yeah. I'm not disappointed, because
not really.
Like I said, I kind of figured it was going to happen.
But I just expected it to be more subtle and less...
I just hope they have a really great solution.
Yeah. Less,
besides, just taking her out.
Yeah, that would be great.
I mean, Woo is definitely the solution to fixing the Earth Kingdom, which is really the only issue. But I think there's an overall issue.
Mm-hmm.
I think it ties in with Zahir a little bit. I always want to take out the world leaders, because these world leaders didn't do anything.
They didn't do crap.
I think that's actually part of the issue. At least I'm hoping. And
I don't know.
It might come true that that the world leaders, something with that happens. I'm not entirely sure. That's really all I can really say as far as this episode goes. I think the next episode will probably reveal a lot more about where Kuvira's headed and what's happening with the characters and stuff.
Yeah.
Overall. So, yeah, not really too many speculations or theories in this one. Again, it all just really came back around to the ridiculousness of Sue and how it really is all her fault.
Yeah.
But I don't want to talk about that anymore.
Yeah, we'll be talking about it tomorrow or next week too.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, maybe the week after that if she survives.
I kind of want it to really come down hard on her in a way, even though I don't want people to suffer, but like as far as the character, it's like you didn't act and now you have to pay the price, because no one's gonna stop Kuvira, not this early on in the season.
No. And
that's the sad part about it too, the fact that we know it's a TV show and it has to continue.
Yeah, for another 8 episodes. Yeah, 8 episodes.
8 episodes.
I just had to count in my head there. But
still quite a few episodes.
It is really.
I mean, if you really think about
how far we've gone so far.
Yeah, how fast everything's kind of moving. So, I mean,
we have to have at least one episode where we kind of explain Kuvira's fall, right? They're gonna do that at least once, right?
Maybe.
I mean, I have to assume there's something more to her. She didn't start out that, or she's Anakin. She is Darth Vader.
Probably. I think I'm holding on to hope with their thing of it's that she's their favorite villain.
Yeah, like she's too one-dimensional at the moment to be like even remotely close to my favorite villain.
They even talked about how they felt that Ozai was very one-sided.
Yeah.
And they could have done more with that character. So there's got to be more to her character.
Yeah, there's got to be.
It's got to be more to her character. If it's just from like, if it's the idea of like a normal person
slipping into
this thing, but that's a lot like Azula too.
Yeah.
So I don't know. The biggest twist would be Kuvira seeing the error in her ways.
That would be an interesting twist, if nothing else.
And actually, but then something has already. But then you get like every Spider-Man ending. It's too much. It's too far. Forgive me.
Yeah. Every single one of them.
Yeah.
Actually.
Well, I haven't seen
it
yet, so I'm not gonna say it. But what I'm trying to say is like, the spirit technology might end up becoming a threat if they want to turn Kuvira good again or see the error in her ways. If she stays evil throughout the entire, or becomes more progressively evil and more bad, they're gonna have to deal with her. Take her, either kill her, imprison her, do something. I mean, from what we've seen, there's no real like definite solution to anything. It all changes, and I think that's what Korra's story is going to be about. It's like you can't find a definite solution, but you could find a solution for certain issues at this present time. Toph said it, too. So either there's got to be something more with Kuvira. If there isn't, then it's going to be a whole lot. It's going to get boring because it's going to be a whole lot of her just like being evil and being more evil and then more evil and more evil, and it's like, okay, we get it. She's evil. She needs to be stopped. So there's got to be something different, something else.
Yeah, that or I do not understand why she's their favorite.
Yeah. Let us know in the comments what you guys thought of the episode. Did you like it, and where do you guys see this going? Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Bye.